everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Hit with Higgins and Bonnie. And I know we talked about it a lot last week because, it's the biggest sporting event of the year. But today is dedicated to all things Super Bowl 56. So we're going to talk about some of the key matchups to look out for. Later in the show, we're going to cut to a segment that I'm doing with Who's Drankin' founder and my bet guy, Torts. We're going to talk about all the lines you should be looking out for on game day and just some of the big storylines to look out for come Sunday. Bonnie, are you excited for this?
Of course I am.
I know you are. I know you're riding with Joe Shiesty for this whole
Yeah,
this whole game.
I kind of forced to. I don't think I have a choice.
You have to. Well, first of all, let's clarify something. Cincinnati is not Ohio; it's Kentucky.
Yes, we agree with that. But also, I live with people that do support the Cincinnati Bengals. So, I mean, if I didn't, I'd be in big trouble.
Well, listen, America is riding with Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, I'm probably including Los Angeles too.
Exactly. Yeah, and we're gonna talk about it in a second because I think might be the biggest story out of this whole thing. Like, it's nuts. It's nuts that they can't draw fans. But anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get there. But let's talk about the obvious storyline right now. It's number one pick versus number one pick. One came into the league in 2009, the other one in 2020. But both storied college quarterbacks turn number one picks, get to the Super Bowl, which is on very, very different timelines. Bonnie, what do you want to look out for with Matt Stafford come Sunday?
I think the big thing for him is not messing it up, unfortunately. I think all season long he's kind of been throwing a lot of turnovers. I think that he didn't lead the league, did he?
No, he tied for the league lead with Lawrence. They both had 17.
Yeah, that's not good on an offense that's so explosive. That, as we've talked about, he does throw a lot of interceptions. So I think the big thing for him is just, kind of making the plays that he needs to make because they do throw the ball a lot, but also being smart with the football and not really giving Joe Burrow or the Cincinnati Bengals any momentum going into this game. So, yeah, I think really limiting his mistakes is obviously a crucial part to any sport, and it's no different when you're playing for the Super Bowl. But I also think he does need to make big plays on the field, and that's what he has been good at, especially, if he's throwing like 7 touchdown passes to OBJ, you already know the rapport he has with Cooper Kupp. So I think those are kind of the big details going into this game where he's going to have to make big plays with his arm because the running game is not the greatest. Yeah.
Listen,
it's not the greatest.
With the interceptions and everything, and we talked about it last week, their offense is predicated on throwing the football. So I don't look at his interceptions as that much of a worry for me because when you're throwing the ball as much as they are, it's bound to happen. I mean, keep in mind also he threw 41 touchdowns, right? And Cooper Kupp had arguably the best season for a wide receiver in the NFL ever. OBJ has been huge as a midseason acquisition. Their offense is just dynamic. And you know what? I might have freaking COVID. Freaking out. I don't have COVID. But their offense is explosive. But like you did say it, you cannot give this Cincinnati Bengals team momentum because we've seen this entire playoff run that they can strike and they can strike quick. They really can. Joe Burrow is unreal.
That's what I'm worried about with his turnovers, though. It's not necessarily that, they throw the ball a lot and yeah, he's gonna miss some throws. Obviously, that's gonna happen. But how good the Bengals are with creating just momentum. I mean, you saw it in the AFC Championship game when they made one stop at the end of the second quarter. That changed the whole game around. It did, and that's what I'm scared about with the Rams is that wherever it's Matthew Stafford throw an interception or it's someone else on the offense making one mistake that can lead Joe Burrow and this really pretty much inexperienced team that has not had a lot of playoff experience, actually none at all before this season.
Literally,
if we're going to be frank. Any confidence. Joe Burrow is going to have a lot of confidence. The team we'll see. But if you give this team the ball in a short field, they're going to gain a lot of confidence and they're going to grow into this game, which I think people are expecting them to do. However, I think if you look at the other side, I think it's the big key for the Bengals is it's not necessarily Joe Burrow, but it's creating enough time for Joe Burrow to make plays.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's talking about it. It's this pass rush versus offensive line. Can the offensive line hold up for at least 3 to 4 seconds so Joe Burrow can scan the field and make a play either with his arm or his legs to make things happen for the Bengals? Yes, they can run the ball, and I think that's also a kind of an underrated aspect of the Bengals offense that not a lot of people seem to be discussing, at least from my warped view. But they can run the ball really effectively, and the Rams aren't great at stopping it. So that could be another recipe for success.
No, definitely.
Throughout the playoffs.
Definitely. Listen, Joe Mixon might be the X factor in this game. He really might, because we talked, and another thing we talked about last week, the Rams linebackers, at least their inside guys, they're not great. And if they can get a running game going early and the Rams can't stop it and they just ride that to the end, Cincinnati will have their first Super Bowl. Joe Mixon can win them the Super Bowl. And, I liken it a lot to the early 90s Bills. That team was all firepower, right? Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, James Lofton, firepower. They also had a Hall of Fame running back in the backfield. And in Super Bowl 25, the Bills played the Giants, and Bill Belichick was the Giants defensive coordinator, and his game plan was to let Thurman run the football because he believed that Buffalo wouldn't want to. They'd want to throw it, air it out, and that's what they did for the first half. And eventually they got smart. They ran the ball with Thurman Thomas. He ran for over 100 yards, and they almost won the game. They missed one kick at the end, but if they had, they would have won the game. So I think the Bengals, and also, by the way, I'm not comparing Joe Mixon to Thurman Thomas whatsoever. Thurman Thomas is a Hall of Fame running back. Joe Mixon's very good, and he's not in that class just yet. But if they can run the ball early and often, they can ride that train, they'll win that Super Bowl. That's what I'm thinking at this point.
Yeah, and I think there's another aspect to running the ball is that you also delay this pass rush because you can implement a play action pass where the Rams have to respect the run enough to be maybe a little bit hesitant on these play action pass, maybe slow down this pass rush, maybe get a chip, do something to, alleviate their offensive line, which is porous as all get out. There's you can't really sugarcoat how bad they're off. Not how bad, but how just
it's not great. It's not great.
It's not good. So when we look at kind of the Bengals, it's going to be predicated on their ability to run the ball because, as we just alluded to, they can run the ball to win this game. They'll keep the ball out of the hands of Matthew Stafford because, frankly, all the pressure is on Stafford. It's not on Burrow.
Oh God, no! When you give up 3 first-round picks or 2 first-round picks like the Rams did to get your guy because that's what you think you need to get to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. All that pressure's on him. And for 12 years, we've given him a pass because he's been in Detroit and they don't know how to win football in Detroit. So this is what he needed, right? This is what he wanted, to be in a big market with a good team. And to his credit, has gotten them to the Super Bowl. That's huge, but also at the same time, so did Jared Goff. So all the pressure right now is on Stafford and that Rams football team. The Bengals are young. They're very young. Joe Burrow is still 25 years old. It's a young football team. Their best player, arguably, Jamar Chase, is a 22-year-old rookie. So, you never want to say you have time because that's not how you want to think. You want your mindset to be, if we don't win this year, we won't get back. But that's kind of the mindset. So it's kind of, does the pressure for the Rams drive them to be better, or do they crash and burn? We'll see. I think there's a lot of things you could look at with those two mindsets.
Yeah, and I think I had a theory, early on in the days of this podcast where shout out to Colin Cowherd a little bit because he kind of created it and I've kind of absolutely capitalized on it. And I don't know if he talks about it anymore, but it's this theory where your best window to win an NFL championship is when your quarterback is on your first contract. You know why?
Nailed it.
Because he's not getting paid $25, $30, $35 million a year. And guess what? You can build a great roster around a rookie quarterback who's on his first contract. And that's what the Bengals are absolutely taking advantage of right now. Mm-hmm. They're taking advantage of Joe Burrow being on a rookie contract, which obviously they didn't have any expectation of making the Super Bowl this year. But hey, they have a good enough roster where they can go out and buy Trey Hendrickson or not buy, sign. If we're not buying players, we're signing players.
Well,
come on, Andrew. But in all seriousness, but you can build a team around somebody like around him, Burrow enough to win a game. Wow, I can't really speak English.
You're good. But take your time.
I'm taking too much of time.
Well, here, to your point, think about this. In 2021, Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow's cap salary figures take up about 9% of the Bengals salary cap. In 2009, when both Stafford and Calvin Johnson were on their rookie contracts, their cap space took up 20%. In this day and age, with the new CBA in the NFL, when quarterbacks can get on the rookie contract and you can build around them with free agency and through the draft with other high picks, that's your window to win. Colin Cowherd, who I don't want to give credit to, is right. He's very right. Because think about when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Yeah, the Chiefs are the height of the AFC. But when did they win the Super Bowl? When Patrick Mahomes wasn't making $500 million. And not to say that the Chiefs won't win another Super Bowl because Patrick Mahomes is that good. But yeah, that's your ideal window. Get veteran talent around a good rookie quarterback. But of course, the hard part is go find a good rookie quarterback that can play good years 1 through 3 or 4, because that's when you start to extend them. That's the 100%. Tough part.
100%. And we can further elaborate on this point where Aaron Rodgers won his Super Bowl in his first contract. Russell Wilson won his Super Bowl in his first contract.
Tom Brady won his Super Bowl. Well, also, Tom Brady doesn't count because Drew Bledsoe was making $10 million a year, but.
Yeah, Tom Brady is he doesn't make this point valid, but that's okay. It doesn't need to be sound for everyone, just not Tom Brady, because Tom Brady's the
Tom Brady is in a whole class by himself.
He's unique. He's a unique fellow. But I think there's more quarterbacks that we could probably allude to that won their first Super Bowl and their first contract. I'm trying to think of more quarterbacks in the recent era. Obviously, Peyton Manning's unique because he's
it's not Peyton Manning, not Drew Brees. Aaron Rodgers definitely, Russell Wilson definitely, Patrick Mahomes definitely. And the thing else to keep, Ben Roethlisberger as well. But also keep in mind, anything pre-2011, those quarterback rookie contracts are monstrous. Like Mark Sanchez, when he was drafted in 2009, he was picked 5th. He got $55 million guaranteed. And Joe Burrow is going to make $24 million over 4 years.
Yeah.
Plus a 5th-year option. It's like it's everything. Every player or every quarterback that was drafted before Cam Newton was drafted number 1 overall in 2011, that's all different. It's a whole different category.
100%. So pretty much circa 2011, this point really truly stands. And I also think it's just harder to win a Super Bowl now because, I wouldn't have considered the Rams season a failure until you brought up the whole Jared Goff thing making the Super Bowl, which is kind of crazy to think about just because that's where they were at one point. But I would not have considered the Rams season to be a failure just because of the teams you kind of had to go through. You had to go through Tampa Bay. The 49ers were obviously in Vegas early in the season. They were within the top 5 in terms of favorites. The Packers were pretty solid as well. Dallas.
Well, first of all, the Packers just went and did that, but
I
won't make you upset.
That's besides the point. But there was 4 other teams that you could have considered. Maybe, you could.
I would have said going into the season, you would done like Packers, 49ers, Rams, Bucks.
Yeah, so you had 3 teams in the way that were more than proven. The 49ers made it to the Super Bowl. The Packers were obviously really good, and Tampa Bay returned everybody on the roster and just had won the Super Bowl. So they were coming in hot with all the momentum kind of stalled a little bit. Maybe there was going to be that hangover, but then you have a guy named Tom Brady and a defense that was very dominant towards the end of the season, and you thought, hey, this team might have the similar progression in terms of, hey, we're going to win a lot of games because we're in the AFC South, so we're going to wrap that up pretty quickly, unlike last year where you had Drew Brees and the Saints who won that division. And you had to be other teams that were just as good because you finished second, but the schedule wasn't as bearable and hard as compared to other teams. And you thought, hey, they'd maybe peak at the right time, but injuries got the best of them. That happens. So I think the Rams are healthy. They should win this game, but
no, we're right. No. Bengals, absolutely. And I wouldn't be wouldn't be mad if the Rams won. I would be happy for Stafford. I'd be happy for OBJ. I'd be happy for Von Miller. I'd be happy for Aaron Donald. Like, those guys deserve it. But I can't go against my man Joe. I can't, man. That guy just oozes swagger. He's awesome.
Yeah, he is awesome. And I think the other part of this too is that, yeah, Jalen Ramsey is going to be guarding Jamar Chase, but they have two other guys that are pretty capable that can, win you a Super Bowl, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
T. Higgins
really had a great day on
Tyler Boyd has been underrated as well. Mm-hmm. So I think those two guys can get open, and I believe they're going to be able to run the ball. I mean, I think other teams, if the Packers can run the ball with a bunch of backups, I think the Bengals are more than capable of running the ball against the Rams. And other teams have had success. I mean, I think the Buccaneers had success. The 49ers clearly had success as they were in that game and in full control of it. If they didn't have a guy named Jimmy G who couldn't make a pass because his thumb was absolutely obliterated still.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so I don't think the thumb thing mattered. I really don't. I don't.
Yeah, but still, I think that's a factor when you're going to all out stop the run.
Of course,
against that caliber of team. Who do the Rams play in the wild card?
Who the Rams play in the wild card?
Cardinals. Mm-hmm. That game was horrible too.
Well, the Cardinals
stopped watching that game after the first quarter.
The Cardinals are frauds, and that's a whole different discussion. Because I could give you a good solid hour on the Cardinals and just what's wrong with them and what they need to do. Definitely.
Yeah, I think it's obvious, but I don't know if Kyler Murray is the answer though. At the same time.
Well, I mean, also, I don't know if you've been keeping up with the news, Bonnie, but he's deleted everything off his Instagram, so he's as good as gone.
Okay, whatever. I could delete. I could delete everything. I could unfollow every professional sports team, follow another one, and be like, "Hey, look I'm a new fan of this team now."
You think if I deleted all my posts from my new Instagram, they think I'd be transferring to my fifth school?
Yeah, you probably could. Realistically, it'd be very easy to do that.
Oh my god!
Hey, next time on the podcast, instead of that Manchester United stadium fixture behind me, I'm gonna put a Liverpool one up there.
You just make it a whole. That can be our thing for the show. You know that, right? We can just change the fixtures in the back of your screen.
Yeah, we can do that very easily.
Dude, I almost put up my flag for this episode. You know what flag I'm talking about?
Yeah, there's a lot of flags, but yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about.
The one that was up my room at Hartford. I don't know if people would have liked that one though.
Yeah.
It depends. You have to have the right kind of humor for it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, or just believe he was innocent.
Oh man. Oh man, I knew it was that one.
Come on, this one I got still. I had two flags freshman year of college. It was that one, and it was a flag of Kim Jong-un that said "Live, Love, Laugh." Like a typical freshman in college trying to be funny and cool flag that my roommate at Salisbury still has. So but I had to keep the juice flag. Had to.
Yeah, you have to. That's so funny, man.
I know it's so screwed up, but it's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. The fact that guys can still tweet and not get absolutely harassed off Twitter is impressive. It really is. Especially
people enjoy his content. It's it's weird. It's weird that people enjoy that he tweets.
He's just living his best life, kind of. I mean, he's posting all these happy things, and it's okay.
Him and the Mahomes jersey.
I think we all know he's guilty, and the fact that he's living his best life, I mean, I guess people like that type of content. I mean,
listen, there's a reason that after the civil suit, he had to pay $30 million to both families because they got it wrong. They got it wrong the first time. And actually, I read a book. I think I told you about it. I have a book that was written by Chris Darden, who was the second prosecutor in the OJ trial. And he talks about it they screwed up. Marsha Clark, the state of California, they screwed up that case. But that was 30 years ago now? Jesus.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Was it 92, 94? Might have been almost 30 years ago. How did we get to OJ? How did we get here?
I'm riding, man.
I don't know, man. Let's go back. Let's go back to the Super Bowl. Here, I'm gonna hit you with the first trivia question. I got one for you. All right, you have 15 seconds to answer. Okay.
15 seconds.
15 seconds. The longest touchdown in Super Bowl history happened in the year 2009. Who scored that touchdown?
2009.
Mm-hmm. Like the Super Bowl took place in 2009. Longest touchdown in Super Bowl history was scored that day. Who was it?
James Harrison.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Steelers Cardinals.
Good job. Way to
Here's
go.
why I remember that is because I watched it live and I remember them saying, "This is the longest play in Super Bowl history."
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to say it with the Jacoby Jones when you returned the kick.
Well, that's like the longest special teams play. So I guess it's an asterisk, but
it's an asterisk, but it's not an asterisk.
Yeah, I guess Jacoby Jones theoretically has the longest touchdown in Super Bowl history, but it's like a kick return. I don't know. I didn't know if I was
the guy
going
was
to
an
that.
absolute menace at returning kicks.
Do you remember that video of Tomlin standing on the sideline, like in his way when he was returning that kick against the Steelers?
Yeah, I do remember that. I did. It was a meme.
It's a savage move because he's like, I didn't know. I was just standing there. Like he was looking up at the scoreboard, looking at Jacoby Jones running full force behind him, just standing there like this, like just looking. And then they did like a little sidestep right when he got close, and nothing happened.
He did a little tootsie slide.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Bonnie, you're better than that.
Yeah, I am. But
you're better.
I thought I would say something.
Mm-mm. You're better.
Maybe.
Right, let me ask that one. You got that one pretty easily, so I'm gonna ask you one more. Okay.
Okay.
So, Joe Namath, Super Bowl III. First time an AFL, now AFC team had won the Super Bowl. Basically changed the NFL, right? He was named MVP of that game. How many touchdowns did Joe Namath throw in that game?
I have no idea.
Come on, why else would I ask this? Here, I'll give you the final score was 16-7. Okay, Jets won 16-7.
0. Yeah. Okay.
He threw 0 touchdowns and was named Super Bowl MVP.
Because he had that legendary Broadway Joe style.
He guaranteed that win, man. Well, also and then also Matt Snell, who was their fullback, Ohio State kid, Matt Snell. I guess not a kid; he's like 80, but
he's a grown man now.
Yeah, he ran for 120 something yards and their only touchdown that day.
That's incredible.
And Joe Willie got MVP.
Yeah, that's lame, but whatever.
It's kind of a lame trivia question. I have trivia.
No, it is a good trivia question. I just say it's lame that he won the MVP.
Oh yeah, that's kind of lame. But I feel like I could go at you with hard trivia questions. I won't do it. I don't want to embarrass you.
Yeah, you don't need to do that.
I won't do that to you.
Mush.
I know things. I know useless things. Let's just leave it at that.
It's okay to know useless things.
I guess
it'll pay off one day.
We're hoping. I'm hoping this useless thing pays off one day. What we're doing right now.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Be nice. What? We can dream. All right, let's get back to the Super Bowl. We got a little off topic, but we talked about it right at the beginning of the show, right? The fanfare in Los Angeles is laugh out loud embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Cincinnati had their pep rally for the Super Bowl on Tuesday. Paul Brown Stadium, 30,000 people were in that stadium getting loud for Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, all the Cincinnati Bengals. They were getting fired up. The Rams had a pep rally at a local California high school, which is kind of cool, high school feeling. They got 500 people for that pep rally. And think about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, Sean McVay begging Rams fans not to sell their tickets to 49ers fans. He actually had to go to the media and do that. The fanfare in Los Angeles is ridiculous. The Rams moved from St. Louis to Los Angeles in 2016. The Chargers followed the year after because they wanted to get more fanfare. And being in Los Angeles, the biggest market on the West Coast, they figured it would come naturally. And they haven't been able to draw at that stadium. And fortunately for them, they're having the Super Bowl this year in Los Angeles, which will be huge. But they have not drawn fans the way I'm sure the NFL and both of those teams have wanted them to. It's actually embarrassing for both those teams in the league that your two Los Angeles franchises can't bring fans. The Jets and the Giants, they finish top 10 in attendance every single year, and they are the worst two. They're the worst two teams in football. And me, my brother Timmy, were just talking about this because he's doing a project on it for school. The Jets are actually top 5 in attendance 3 of the last 5 years. And they suck, Bonnie. They're not
They
good.
are terrible.
They're horrible. And the Rams, who are in the Super Bowl, can't do it. They can't do it. And the Chargers certainly can't do it. They couldn't do it in San Diego. They're not doing it in Los Angeles. And the league needs to fix it. They need to fix
but how do they fix it? Where do they move?
to St. Louis and San Diego. Just send them back. I mean, at least, St. Louis was boring and they had like a, pretty like boring dome stadium, but they drew fans when they sucked, and that's where the greatest show on turf was. So,
but the Rams have always flirted back with Los Angeles and going to and from all the time. But yeah, I think it is a problem for the NFL. I think it is just because it's LA is just there's so much to do in LA, and then you have the stadium in a suburb. That doesn't help things. And then you have the Lakers, who are very good, and the Dodgers, who are very good. They're both legacy franchises. And then you're trying to establish even the Kings are like decent.
The Kings get good draws.
Yeah, just because they've won Stanley Cups. I think the pedigree, if the Rams do win this, will help. But I think at the end of the day, it's a different world out in Los Angeles. I've never been, but just hearing from people that have been there and talk about it and are from the state of California or currently reside in the state of California, it's just a different place out there. And it doesn't help when you have USC, who's obviously another team that's going to be on the rise within the next couple of years. I think that's pretty fair to say, aka next year. So when you kind of apply all those things where you have all these blue blood kind of legacy franchises / college programs, it's going to be hard to be like, oh yeah, let's add another team. It's not like Las Vegas where there was no prior sports franchises to, the Golden Knights or the Raiders or the Aces in the WNBA, where they can easily build this fan base where Las Vegas is a very growing area in terms of population. You have that. Then you have the tourism aspect of it, which is absurd. It's probably one of the most visited places in America, at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell of an accent right there, America. Mm-hmm. And then you combine that, this town doesn't have any sports teams. So you're adding a whole new entertainment aspect / sector, mini industry sector into a larger pool where gambling is growing, especially sports gambling. You combine all these things together, it makes a lot of sense to have a team in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe that the team in Jacksonville will probably move before any team in Los Angeles will, just because they're horrible at drawing fans, probably just as bad, and they've been around since the 90s. Uh-huh. But yes, it is a problem for the NFL. How do they go about this situation? I don't know. Ask a marketer. But
listen, I
think there's a lot of things you can do. I don't think it helps that football is kind of a sport that, if you're kind of, I don't really know how to go about saying this.
Listen, football in Los Angeles is just second tier.
Yeah, it's just a really physical sport. You have a history of concussions involved with it. So you have wealthy people, let's just say that. I think that's fair enough. They're like, hey, maybe I don't want to send my kid into football because he might have a ton of brain injuries and CTE. Let's have him go in the other sports. So therefore, basketball, baseball. So you have all this tradition, and then you have kind of maybe the safety aspect of football where it's like, oh, I don't want my kid because let's just say how it is. It's it's very liberal out there. So
it's liberal out there is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, maybe there's that aspect of it. I don't know. I'm just spitballing off the top of my head.
I think with Los Angeles as a city, and I've also never been there. I've never been there myself, but that city, I mean, especially in these warmer areas of the country where you can play baseball year round, right? So they're playing baseball year round there. The talent that's coming out of Los Angeles for basketball is huge. I mean, you can make have you ever seen those things on like Sports Nation where they made teams based off where players were from? Like the Lakers and the Clippers would both be all-star teams if that were to happen. You could take 10 guys and make 2 all-star teams. And then, of course, not as of late, and I'm sure they're going to be on the upswing because they just got Lincoln Riley, but USC football has been king there forever. 03, 04, 05, 06, when they were at their peak, and on their way to winning back-to-back national championships with Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush and Lendell White, and you had Snoop Dogg and Will Ferrell and Vince Vaughn on the sideline watching those games. King, they ruled Los Angeles. There's a great 30 for 30 about them. It's not called Trojan Horse. I don't think it is. But it's crazy good. And it talks about it. Like, they ran Los Angeles a lot like how Miami football ran the city of Miami. So when you're bringing two NFL franchises, one who was in Los Angeles before, one who had never been but was in San Diego, it's tough to get two franchises to be popular. You know, I think, first of all, the Chargers should have never moved. Never should have moved. They're the Rams' little brother in that stadium. They should have just stayed in San Diego. And on the Rams part, yeah, moving to St. Louis in the first place was weird, but they moved out of there in 92 with the Raiders, and they just didn't like St. Louis. The owners didn't like St. Louis, Stan Kroenke and company, but
yeah, there's no shot you would have stayed there.
I know you're a Stan Kroenke hater, aren't you?
I don't mind Stan Kroenke.
Oh, you don't? Oh, you don't like Glazer. You don't like
The
Glazer.
Blazers, yeah, I'm not a fan of the Blazers. But I think there's also another point involved with this where I think this makes a lot more sense than the thing I just previously said, because that didn't make any sense in the world. I don't even know what I was saying.
You're spitballing. We're spitballing here. Go fire away.
Well, it was an idea because I've kind of heard that little stigma, but I don't think it's that legit. I'm going to be honest. But I think just having like more time evolved and, you know, having more, frankly, children supporting these teams and growing up with these teams, I think that will definitely help the Los Angeles type of vibe. And when it comes to like professional football, I think it just needs to be necessarily more ingrained, but I think it just needs a little bit more time to thaw out the process of getting fans there in the first place, having a good family experience, which we have seen at that stadium, some epic brawls.
Yeah, we have.
You remember the one I'm talking about last
exactly
year?
What you're talking about.
That ball was crazy.
I know.
So making a good family experience where you're frankly just putting families in the stadium, creating that bond, you know, how all NFL teams do. And really, that's how you really build a fan base. You build it from the bottom up. And I think it'll grow, but it's just going to take time. And we don't live in a world where there's a ton of time to really execute anything anymore. So when you add that factor into it, there's kind of a ticking bomb that's going to maybe eventually come in. Yeah, I think it's good that there's a team in Los Angeles. 2, maybe excessive, but it's a market that should be able to handle that.
Yeah, I mean, it's handled 2 basketball teams for years. It's handled 2 baseball teams for years. New York does it pretty effortlessly, and like I said, those teams aren't even good. You know, none of the teams that I would consider like the New York metropolitan area teams, Jets, Giants, you know, Mets, Yankees as of late, Knicks, Nets, and the Rangers. You know, they're not the most successful franchises. I mean, as of late, or a lot of those teams ever. But they get people in the stands. They get big fans, big crowds. They can do it. So they got to figure it out. Yeah, of course, we don't have the answer. We're just pointing out the problem, but it's a problem that everybody can pretty clearly see. It's an issue.
And it doesn't help that their tickets probably cost a lot of money.
God, they're absurd.
And then you look at the Super Bowl price, where the average price on StubHub, I think, is like $9,000 for a ticket. So you already know it's going to be a celeb full atmosphere, which frankly, that's what LA is.
Listen, they'd rather have they'd rather have a TikTok superstar at that game than a true like Cincinnati Bengals fan.
Hey, they don't have the greatest TikTok superstar of all time at this year's Super Bowl, so they're going to be missing out.
Who's the greatest TikTok star? Oh, it's you.
It's not me.
No, it's you.
It's a guy with the last name Mahomes that everyone absolutely loves.
That's what you're going towards. Oh no, yeah, no. I think more people started buying tickets when that happened, when they realized he wasn't going to be there.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. But you know how incredible that would be if him and his wife were at that game. Oh my gosh, the amount of hate they would get is probably crazy.
Dude, first of all, think about it. His wife made up shirts to like to make people stop bullying her. Like, did you think that you making that shirt was gonna like make other people stop bullying you? Like, first of all, like, man, like Patrick Mahomes, man, he puts up with a lot of crap. He does, and it's not even his. It's like not even his fault. It's
No,
like
it's not.
it's not like Patrick Mahomes is like an all class guy. Like, he's awesome human being. I think he's great in commercials. He's an outstanding quarterback. He seems like a very nice guy. And then his wife is spraying champagne outdoors from her booth, like making shirts to like so people will stop bullying her. Like, she's not being bullied, she's being called out on her crap, you know? And then his brother just making stupid dances, like
Dancing on people's like
dancing on Sean Taylor's
yeah.
thing. That's not cool. That's actually like it's just so
infuriating.
It's infuriating. It's so disrespectful. And like, I'm looking for like the right word for it. It's kind of like
there isn't the word for it.
There's no word for it. It's just like I'm looking at it like, you moron, you're so dumb. So
they just cause too much attention for themselves for the absolute wrong reasons. And when you typically do that, people are typically not going to like you.
No, especially when you're in the public eye as much as they are. You're sitting in your booth in Arrowhead, people aren't going to like you. And then when you're doing stuff like that, doesn't help the situation.
And then you're taking like these weird videos, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen that? Photo? Because like they met in high school, right? Patrick and Brittany. And there's a picture of them from like in high school, and Patrick and Brittany like take this picture, and she's like all over him with like the biggest smile on his face, and Patrick's just like this. Like he looks trapped. Like I was scared for him, but now they have a kid and they're about to get married, so
they're happy.
Maybe you can pull like a Russell Wilson and just like nab somebody like Sierra, because Russell Wilson came into the league married, right?
Yeah. So yeah. And then she cheated on him with Golden
Tate.
Yep.
That's hysterical.
That's a good way to end the podcast right there. Just end it on a.
Should we end on that? Well, we got
to get the predictions first.
We gotta get the predictions, and then before we end it too, we're gonna kick it over to a segment that I'm gonna do with Torts, and that'll be in the video, so we won't really end it, but let's do predictions. Bonnie, take the lead, my friend. What's your score prediction? Give me your winner, the score, MVP.
Winner, score, MVP.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Bengals are going to win 31-27.
Okay.
I just like that score. It's got a nice ring to it.
Okay.
MVP. I don't want to go with Burrow because that's just the homer pick.
The homer pick.
I'm going to go with Joe Mixon.
Okay.
I like it. It's a nice upside, steaming hot pick that no one's going to be talking about. And then when he has 2 touchdowns for like 100 yards and 35 receiving yards, it's going to be like, wow, look at this genius. Or it's going to be an absolute failure.
That's a risk you take, my friend. You take that risk.
Yeah, but I hope the Bengals win. It's more of like a pick with my heart, to be honest.
Right. It's a hope. Because I'm going to do the same thing. So so Bengals win the Super Bowl, MVP, Joe Mixon. I just raved about him, so he's my MVP. And for score, I want you to listen to this because I'm very sincere about this. Bengals over Rams, 27-9.
Okay.
27-9. That is my fun. I think the Rams score 3 field goals.
Really?
Yes, I do.
Alrighty, that's interesting.
And if I win, you have to come. If I guess that correctly, you have to come hang out with me at Mercy for 2 weeks. Tell your coach that you're coming. Okay. All right. If it is actually 27-9, Bengals over Rams, and Joe Mixon wins MVP, you need to come hang out at Mercy College for 2 weeks. I will tell your coach for you. All right. You actually, you know what? No, I'm raising the stakes. If that happens, for your 5th year, you just come hang out with me next year. We're winning natty chips at Mercy, Bonnie. You got to come. Go Horses, man. You're coming to hang out here. If that hits.
Go Horses.
Go Horses, man. if that hits, you're coming to hang out.
Oh man, that'd be funny.
Listen, it's gonna happen. That's the
I don't have a
prediction.
bet for you. It's okay.
That is my prediction right now. If it hits, that's happening. Virtual handshake. Virtual handshake. Locked and loaded. All right. That's a good way to end this segment. Love that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please tell your friends about us. I think we're funny. I think you'd like us. Tell your friends.
I hope so.
We'd hope so. Make sure to like, subscribe. And before we end the show today, I'm going to kick it over to a segment that I did with Who's Drankin' founder and owner, Joe Tortorella, Torts, the dude, Bonnie. We will see you next week. Now over to Torts. All right, Hit fans, I'm back here with Torts, the brains of Who's Drankin'. He's going to give us his betting lines to look out for Super Bowl Sunday. Torts, welcome back to the show, man.
Thank you, Higgs. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. I'm excited for this weekend.
Oh, dude, I'm jacked up. We'll also brunch on Sunday to get ready. That's happening.
Yeah, that needs to happen. We need to. All right, we got to get that going. For
no,
sure.
absolutely. You said at practice, and I was jacked up for it. So that's happening.
Don't worry. After this, I'll be Googling endless mimosas Sunday. We'll find something.
Perfect. We're 22 years old for anyone who's curious. But here, let's talk about some of your best lines. So let's get into national anthem, Gatorade Color, and coin toss. Anything you got for everybody?
So yeah, I'm just gonna look at my phone because I got all what I was writing down for this before. On the national anthem, we're taking the under hard. She sang it once before in public, and she was 9 seconds under, and this was in front of the White House. So if she can find 9 seconds in Can You See or Land of the Brave or whatever, she could find an extra 9 seconds, you know what? God bless her. But I don't think that's happening. I think we're gonna hit the under there.
No, I actually do. I agree with you. I saw that. I think I saw on TikTok someone was like they were breaking it down, like they did this whole thing about her White House.
Yeah, I saw that too. I watched the whole video. I was, you know me, I love to do my own research and stuff like that too. So it's I think PBS posted it.
Right.
So
that's where we get all our betting information from now. All right, and then give your best shot. Gatorade Color at the end of the game.
Gatorade Color. I'm going with. I think we have a great value bet here. Hasn't happened since my New York Giants won the Super Bowl, but we're going with purple at plus 1,200.
Okay.
All right, we're due. We're due for a purple. Last 2 out of 3 have been blue, but we're due for a purple. I think we're gonna see a purple Gatorade. We're going right over. I don't want to ruin my pick yet, but we're gonna get right into it. I guess we'll go. What's it called? All over the Bengals head coach.
Okay. All right. I'm with you. And also at the end of our picks, I'll tell you what I predicted with my segment with Bonnie, but I want to hear your thoughts too. But give me some of your best prop bets for Sunday.
So the Jamar Chase is going to be getting hounded by Jalen Ramsey because they're probably just going to shadow him, I would assume, right?
Yeah, more than likely. Jalen Ramsey will be on Jamar Chase for the whole game.
So, I think Jamar Chase is just a straight up dog, and I'm taking his over. Points.
What is the points?
It's been moving and it's been alternate. I got him at 62. But let me check right now for you. I'll tell you, it might have moved. Let's see, player props. These new sporting betting apps are just amazing.
I know, right?
It's just crazy. Anytime. Player props. Here we go.
No, you can find. I mean, thank God for New York letting us bet, but
it's over 78.5. So I took it earlier in the week at 62 minus 195. I threw it in the parlay.
Okay.
I really love the Jamar Chase right now. 78 minus 0.5 minus 115.
No,
I think it has to happen. I think the Bengals are gonna win, right? I'm not someone who's gonna, go back and forth on my picks. My picks are all gonna be Bengals.
Okay.
I got Joe Burrow to the day I die.
Oh man, I'm with you on that. Well, also for any Rams fans though, are there any bets to look out for Rams fans, or just someone who wants to see Matt Stafford win the Super Bowl?
Matt Stafford to win the Super Bowl. I would say, if he's gonna win the game, he's gonna have to put up passing touchdowns, I think. So the line's 1.5. I would try to get the alternate line, maybe get over 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Get it down to like minus 115. Yeah, I think he's gonna have to throw at least 3 touchdowns for them to win the game.
Oh, definitely. They need to put up points.
They need to. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes for there. Cam Akers. Cam Akers is also just a very good football player. So might have to sprinkle a little bit on his over too at 64.5.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely.
Speaking of Jamar Chase, I'm taking Jamar Chase first time touchdown score.
Okay.
So my picks right now, I'm all over the Jamar Chase. We're gonna ride that. We got it over in receiving yards. We got Jamar Chase first touchdown, and then we're going Bengals money line, and then my best bet, right, for this game, McPherson over 1.5 field goals.
Absolutely.
He has had four field goals in each of the playoff games.
And that's only 1.5. That's it.
1.5.
Oh man. Now I'm feeling good about what I'm going to be betting on come Sunday. I feel good about this. Well, also my only prop bet besides like I have Chase in yards. I do think he's going to beat Ramsey a few times. I have T. Higgins scoring the first touchdown because I have to go with my namesake.
Gotcha. 1,000. I understand. I might have to sprinkle a little bit on that too.
I took Mixon and Cam Akers both getting over for their yards. I forget what Mixon's was, but I think I have Mixon as my Super Bowl MVP.
Mixon your Super Bowl MVP.
I do.
Here's one for Rams fans. I think that a good MVP bet. Let's say the Rams do win it. It's gonna have to be someone that's gonna have to like just have a day like there always is in every Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And why not the problem child himself, Odell Beckham Jr.
Uh-huh.
You're getting great value there, like plus 20, 24, 2,500 around there. Who says he doesn't have 30 touchdowns, 170 yards, and they win the game? He's just giving the middle finger to everybody in that left him in the Browns organization, my Giants organization. Everybody that just kind of left him out to dry, totally forgot about him. Still a pretty good receiver, so
he's not too bad.
No, we'll see.
That'd be huge. Listen, that'd be awesome. I mean, his redemption story has been great the entire year because everyone gave him so much shit in Cleveland about it, and then he gets out and he's now performing.
He's performing, and really makes Baker Mayfield not look very good.
Oh no, he looks horrible. So, and the Browns will have a new quarterback next year. At least they'll have a new quarterback in that room.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, he's not getting it done. But I don't know who that's going to be. But for people that follow me on Re-Rack, I have my new 2.0 mock draft coming out Monday, the day after the Super Bowl. You might get some answers there. But to finish this off, Torts, let's hear your winner, score, MVP. Go ahead.
Winner, score, MVP. So I got the Bengals. I'm taking Bengals money line.
Okay.
I'm taking them. It's going to be 30-27 with a McPherson field goal to end it.
Okay.
That's how it's going to happen. 30-27, McPherson going to hit, I would say, around 45 to a 55-yard field goal to win the Super Bowl in LA.
All right.
And my MVP has to be, they pull out this game and they put up 30 points out on prediction. It's going to have to be Joe Burrow.
Oh, definitely.
It's going to have to be. So, Joe Burrow is going to be, I'm really rooting for the kid. I mean, how can you not? I've debated this all week, Rams, Bengals. Like, I just got to the point where, like, if I bet the Rams this weekend, I would have been miserable watching the Super Bowl. Even if, especially at the start, I would have hated it because I would just want to root for that guy. I want to root for the city of Cincinnati, like nothing ever. Like he's literally like LeBron trying to win Cleveland a championship just in football.
Basically.
Literally what it was. Like trying to bring home. It's literally where he's from. It's a perfect story. He just won comeback player of the year. Left the trophy on the table. I'm excited.
Oh no, that was such a cool moment. He's all business, man. He's ready for this game on Sunday.
He's got like that swagger for like kind of like a Tom Brady swagger where he's like a little cocky, or like, but he's not, but he's genuine about it, and that's what I love about him.
Right. No, he's real, man. Like he's a real guy. Like just in the way he acts. But yeah, he just has this swagger about him that's infectious almost. You know,
Yeah,
people love him.
have you ever seen the video of it's him against Penn State in the year before they won the national championship? He throws a pick and he gets ran over.
Oh, that's UCF.
UCF, I'm sorry. UCF. He gets ran over and he's just on the ground. The guy's talking shit and stuff. Sorry, I don't know. Could we say that? Could we?
That's I said shit like 2 seconds ago. You're good. Don't worry about it.
It's perfect. Yeah, he just has never looked that good. I mean, he tore his ACL. He came back. Like,
so I mean,
but I mean, also it's a Super Bowl where like both quarterbacks, like, you know, you just like they both deserve it.
Mm-hmm. No question, man. I would not be pissed if Matt Stafford won the Super Bowl.
No.
Not at all. That man deserves it. He really does. To be in Detroit for 12 years and still be considered a high level player when you leave is impressive in itself. And then he has done exactly what Sean McVay traded for him to do.
Yep.
You know, like all the pressure was on him the entire year to get to this game. But of course, you could argue the fact that the Rams have been here with Jared Goff before. So it's really, we did all this, go win it for us. So he's got a lot of pressure still.
Yeah. So we'll find out, but I cannot wait. I cannot wait to be sitting on the couch, probably after a couple of mimosas.
Absolutely.
Chowing down on some wings, hopefully some pizza, and just watching a good game of football.
Oh man, it's gonna be a great day. I'm fired up.
Hopefully making some money as well.
Come on now, that's icing on top of the cake right there.
We need to. You know, the boys trying to eat out here.
Dude, are you kidding me? Yeah, we gotta pay back the mimosas, wings, and pizza somehow.
Yeah, somehow.
That's how it works. Yeah. All right, man. Thank you so much for doing this. I know everybody who's all into the betting world right now appreciates the feedback. And also, another quick shout out to Who's Drinking. Go buy the merch, guys. It's awesome.
Website should be up this weekend, so I'm excited.
Perfect. There we go. You don't have to be in Dobbs Ferry to buy this stuff, guys. Go. They'll send it anywhere. I'll send it. I'll send it for them. I don't care. For my guys in PA if you want it. But make sure you check out Super Bowl Sunday. Make sure you check out the Hits next video coming out next week. Enjoy the weekend. We'll see you guys next time. Torres, thank you again.
Thank you so much, Hicks.